Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix here at Online Racing League, ORL that is. My name is George Morgan, and I am joined by my special guest, Maku. Maku, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I had a very interesting day today. I had, very much to do, as we all know, I think. And yeah, let's see what this race can bring to my day today. And yeah, let's see what the drivers can pull out there on the track of Monza.
Absolutely. Welcome to Monza here. Well, Monza next week, should I say. But welcome to Japan here. One of my favourite circuits here on the F1 calendar. Some of the winding circuits you get. Lots of drama, lots of activity in terms of pace on track. And the corners can really throw cars certainly all over the place, certainly given the curbs, the very tight curbs, the very tight hairpin bends, all sorts in store for this Grand Prix. We'll just have a look now through the actual league standings here, because naturally there has been a bit of a mix-up, certainly in what we have to offer in terms of the standings. And we'll just have a quick look at that now, because as you can see, leading the Drivers' Championship is Speed Barry for Red Bull. 99 points in front, and Jarno Watmir just 4 points behind him in the Mercedes. Infamous there in P3 with 42 points, so quite a gap between Ps2 and 3 at this stage. The two McLarens making up Ps4 and 5, Maku, but Red Bull's certainly looking like the dominant force currently this season.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the standings, I was surprised too that McLaren was just third, even though the drivers were in fourth and fifth in the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, it's just because they have this big gap between themselves and Speedberry and Jarno, because these are 50 points away, and yeah, that makes a big difference, and that's why Mercedes and Red Bull are leading, even though the teammates of Speedberry and Jarno are way down the table.
Certainly is. We're just about to see the drivers go out on track. Just going to quickly check the settings just to make sure we're all good, because all of a sudden the stream has gone slightly dark here, guys, which always makes me nervous. Here we are, we're back in the room. Excellent. We're just watching now Arsene Kardinov, and this is a good opportunity for us, guys, to actually have a look and see, just give you a bit of a rundown of the track as he makes his way down towards the next chicane, which is in fact going to be heading down, through Monza. I didn't realise actually, I've got the Japanese GP standings on top of the thing. I didn't realise, obviously, it was Monza's now. Obviously, they put the Japanese thing on the actual team standings, which sort of threw me off a little bit. So obviously he's coming down now, heading towards the Ascari chicane, the long straight here for Arsene Kardinov, and in the Alfa Romeo, Ascari dead ahead. He's going to brake just at the 100, and as he does so, swallows a lot of the left-hand curve out on the right hand. Quick exit on the left once again, just loses it slightly but maintains it. Very good recovery. Heads down the straight, leading towards the world famous Parabolica, where you'll have to try and keep the car on the track. Go very steady, under braking, easy on the power, just brushes the curb slightly on the exit and powers down the straight. Obviously, given the fact that he made that little slip up, might cost him some time as he comes across the line in P6. 118.917, still not as quick as Jarno Watmir, who sits on 118.561, Maku.
Yeah, but we haven't yet Speedberry set a time, so and he's getting a tow from Hayes, so there will be a lot of playing with this, I think, this session, as we see this with the two Red Bull teammates. Maybe the Mercedes are doing this too, but yeah, let's see what Speedberry can pull out of his time. I mean, hopefully he doesn't make this little mistake that Arsene Kardinov did, out through the corners 8, 9, 10. Was a little bit far away from the racing line, and therefore couldn't get the exit right.
No, quite right. I mean, obviously a little bit of a slip up there, costing him a little bit of time as Speed Barry now opens up the DRS, heading down the straight towards his visit of the Ascari chicane on his fast lap now. The Red Bull prancing down the circuit here, opens up the brakes now, heading down. Power comes on, coming out the exit now of the chicane, powers down the straight. You'll soon have as Steve goes fastest with a 118.480, though he will be fodder at the moment for the Red Bull if he can go quicker, as we can see the Parabolica dead ahead, the flashing green light saying everything's okay, but the yellow flag's raising in sector 2 and 3 for some reason. Maybe a slowing down car or something there, Maku, as we see Speed Barry bomb down the stretch here. What's it going to be for the Red Bull? It is a P1 with a 118.013. He goes at least 4 tenths faster. Incredible lap there, Maku.
yeah, a low 180. Maybe we'll even see a 117 after this time of speed berry. Maybe if the track gets a little bit more grippy. But yeah, let's see where the rest of the field gets out. For example, the two McLaren we spoke about before, we have now in 12th and 9th. Yeah, we know they're not that good at qualifying. They weren't in the last races, but they weren't in the last qualifying. But in the races, they could do a lot of things. They were always further up in the standings.
Absolutely. Napadovsky now making his way down the Ascari chicane. Now you'll soon be exiting that said chicane. Coming out onto the straight now. You can see the green flashing lights there. Once again, everything looking a-okay down this straight before the Parabolica. What's it going to be here for the Williams driver? Napadovsky in reasonable form here, and no doubt giving the homeboys of CRG something to really scream and shout about as he makes his way around in the Williams. Powers down the stretch. What's it going to be? Evan Napadovsky is Fabrizio Donoso has retired. So is Sven Zerner. So I'm not sure what's gone on there.
Fabrizio Donoso tried to brake behind a Red Bull, I think, was it, because they wanted to let Sven Zerner pass, and then Fabrizio just went, so there were basically two cars next to each other, and Sven Zerner tried to go past, but Fabrizio Donoso came out of the back of the Red Bull too early, and then just hit Sven Zerner, and they completely crashed into each other.
It's a real shame, I gotta say. Two of the, I would say, probably the main contenders for the championship. Obviously, Mercedes not going to want that for their constructor standings hopes, because they are currently only 2 points separating them and Red Bull in the team standings. As things stand, as we now watch Napadovsky make his way out on his quick lap now, heading down towards the Ascari chicane. You can see there in the distance the braking zone there, just at the 100, and he brushes the curve there, lovely. He comes out, look at that view there as he makes his way down the straight. You can see there's another, what must be, I think, yes, a Mercedes following him there. That must be Jarno Watmir out on an outlap. Obviously looking to flex his muscles on speed barriers. Bernardo Perez goes into P2, which we missed just now, as we now see Napadovsky, Bernardo Perez's teammate now. What can he post? And he's decided to pit Maku. He's obviously not happy with that said lap, and therefore he will look to go again as we look to ride on board once again with another Renault. They're making their way around the double right-handers, and that'll be the Lesmos, as you see the Renault open up the DRS now, goes green, and he'll want to bomb down and get a lovely visit on the Ascari chicane. The Ascari chicane, you've got to watch that curb on the exit because it can easily ruin your race. We saw earlier a little bit of swerve, and hopefully VSRJ can manage this one appropriately, and he certainly does extremely well. Bombs down the straight, and he'll soon be met with the world famous Parabolica, like we've suggested in previous laps. He just makes his way around the Renault car, looking blazing there in the yellow and black livery, making its way down through towards the stretch. You can just see him, he dives into the pit lane. Nothing doing today, Maku, and yet again we get cheated out of a potential lap time.
Yeah, and Simon just said the second fastest lap time of the session, just went past the start and finish line. But yeah, I think he wasn't really confident with this lap, so he got to the pits for another try. We have still 8 minutes left, so maybe there are even 2 tries possible.
Yes, we are well within the 10-minute mark now, and as Jarno Watmir manages to go 118.213, only 2/10, exactly 2/10 in fact, of Speed Barry's time. So we're going to see yet another battle here between Red Bull and Mercedes here again, almost like in real F1 racing, to be honest with you, as we now see Arsene Kardonov make his way around the Parabolica. What can the Alfa Romeo driver post as well? Tends to get better form in race pace, to be honest with you, but as he dashes down the straight, what's he going to post here for the Alfa Romeo? It is P6, and he manages to improve his lap time, head into P6, just outside. Well, he actually makes up the row 3 on the grid, so a very good showing from the Alfa Romeo driver, and certainly puts him in a good position at turn 1, because obviously you can see what goes on in front of him. Though I've got to say, it can work both ways really going into turn 1, because middle of the pack, some say, is daunting, because how can you get so many cars squeezed into one part of the track? It can be very tricky, can't it, Maku?
Yeah, especially in that chicane, which is very dangerous, and going through that emergency exit is like, yeah, very time consuming, and then you'll end up far down the grid.
Well, we're just watching Speed Barry now, because he is out on an outlap, And as you suggested earlier, Maku, he might well be looking to try and breach the 117s. I mean, clearly, I think if you hit the 117s, I think you're a very, very good candidate for pole position, though we still have just over 7 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, and no doubt he'll be rubbing his hands together, because obviously the likes of Sven Zerner and Fabrizio Donoso, who are also contenders for this championship this year, and unable to field lap times, given the fact of that incident earlier on. Very, very unfortunate incident, may I just add, as he makes his way around the Curva Grande, heading down towards the next chicane, which obviously a very tricky chicane. Swallow a lot of the curve, but lovely entrance and exit there. And I got to say, he's looking in top form as he makes his way down towards the first Lesmos. And as he does so, once again, very, very well rendered there around this corner. Down the second Lesmos, once again looking pacey as he makes his way down the stretch, opens up the DRS, looking extremely confident. And we have a yellow flag in sector 2. Though that may be a driver slowing down there as he makes his way over to the Ascari chicane now, and looking smooth and safe as houses. The Red Bull giving him wings right now here on the exit. You can see in the distance of Williams, and as he makes his way down towards the world famous Parabolica, will Speed Barry beat his current time and go into the 117s? We will soon find out as he bursts his way around the famous Parabolica into the stretch. The crowds here at Monza watching this happen as he comes across the line, and it's going to be a 118.013. It's still the same, nothing changes, but Red Bull's still on top spot, Maku.
Yeah, but I think then he did something a little bit wrong in the last sector, because he got a purple sector in sector 2. So yeah, maybe just improve that last one a little bit again, and then you'll find that few tenths or there's thousands of a second to improve your time.
Absolutely. Obviously, given the fact that he had purple in sectors 1 and 2, maybe, like you said, sector 3 was obviously where he dropped a little bit, as we now watch Kruzic go around. I've got to say, he looks like he's ERS saving at the moment, so I don't think he's actually posting a fast lap of sorts at the moment. He's got a 118.601 at the moment, P8 currently for the Pink Panther, though he's not showing any improvement at the moment. I don't think he's actually looking to post a lap time on this one, maybe a cool down lap. Let's look further down. Zone's still yet to actually post a lap, and he's in fact in the wall, Maku. I'm not sure whether you saw anything happen there. It looks like he did it at the Lesmos.
No, not really sure what happened there, so yeah.
Bit of a shame. He's coming over the DRS line now and activates it. He'll soon be heading down towards the Ascari chicane, but naturally that's probably not what's on his mind at the moment. Haas not having a very difficult qualifying session, currently 18th and 20th as things stand, and the only reason they're separated is because Fabrizio Donoso has retired. As we look further up, we can see CRG Simon out what looks to be on a fast lap, making his way down the stretch, heading towards the next chicane. Simon Vigang, obviously another stalwart of ORL, and has been there or thereabouts in the grid positions, and certainly is no stranger to winning races as he opens up the gas. Oh, he just loses a little bit of traction, and he headed into the grass. Amazing bit of expertise driving to keep that car on the track. Though I gotta say, that might well have hampered his time as he comes around the Parabolica now. The orange McLaren looking for a better time, though I think he might struggle as he comes around towards the home stretch. What's he gonna post? And no, he dives into the pit. It definitely ruined his lap there, Maku.
Yeah, that got invalidated, and he got a purple sector 2 as well, so that would be a very good time.
Well, I tell you what, don't count anybody out here at this latter stage of this qualifying session. 3.5 minutes nearly, folks, and we will be coming towards crunch time as we see Steve now heading down towards Ascari. The prancing horses looking to strike again. They haven't quite found the form that they want this season, currently lying down third last in the championship as a team, and Steve now looking to turn it all around, and he's not doing too badly at the moment. P6 currently in the classifications. He comes around the Parabolica now. What's he going to post? The prancing red horse of the Ferrari coming round the Parabolica a little bit wide, and he dodges into the pit lane, and yet again they catch us out. And in fact, we're going to ride on board now with Failer, because we haven't seen a lot of him yet, because obviously I believe it's his first race today. Did you say, Maku?
Yeah, I think in our league it's his first race, so yeah, let's see how he's going to do.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. He's currently in P12 at the moment, not even looking to improve on his lap either. So once again we're caught out as we now watch Hayes make his way around as well. I'm guessing he's out on a fast lap, so we'll keep an eye on Hayes, and we'll yet again go through the track as he makes his way round the Curva Grande. Hopefully we'll see some Grande moves, to quote Crofty in the race. As he makes his way down towards the next chicane. As he does so, swallows a lot the first and the second. Yellow flag in sector 1. though I think that must just be a slow car as he makes his way around the first Les Moss. Very, very nicely on the power. Look at that. Excellent exit as he makes his way around the second Les Moss as Hayes manages to squeeze his way down through the straight now, heading towards the Ascari. And he's opened up the DRS now. He's got just about 50% DRS left, so he can use all of that now. Though it's saying, according to me here, is the out lap, so he won't have to. Surprised he's using all of it now, to be honest with you, unless my telemetry is making a mistake. And Speed Barry's giving him a bit of a tow here, so it must be a fast lap as he makes his way down the straight, heading towards the Parabolica. What's the Red Bull going to do here? The navy of the Red Bull prancing round the outside of the Parabolica now with Speed Barry in hot pursuit as they make their way down. And I got a feeling Speed Barry might be making use of the tow himself as well to get a good start. And he goes P4 for the Red Bull teammate, a 118.261. Expert teamwork, Maku.
Yeah, and he's directly giving Speedberry the tow for another new lap try. I think Speedberry had his second try no tow, so basically that's maybe a reason why he couldn't break his lap time before. But now he got one, and now he's certainly on a hot time.
Yeah, definitely, as we now see Speed Barry on his fast lap as well now, making use of the tow that was given to him by his teammate as he makes his way around the first Les Moss now. And once again, let's see if he can post an improvement and not lose any time on the third sector as he makes his way around. Simon Vigang, unfortunately, just losing a little bit there, but I've got a feeling Speed Barry's going to try and make use of the tow, as you can see that, and he does as he makes his way down towards the Ascari now. And the 100-meter mark is there, and he just powers down after that 100-meter mark, bursts out of the Ascari chicane, and he flies down the straight now, heading towards the famous Parabolica. The Red Bull really storming down this straight now. You can see the crowds here watching as these cars make their way round the Parabolica he goes. You can see the Mercedes in the distance there. I think Jarno Watme is out on his outlap as well. We are in 30 seconds left now. Squeaky bum time upon us, folks, and Speed Barry notches a 117.780. The pressure's on. The Red Bull's on top. But can he beat Maku?
I think that was a very lucky, a very quick time, because he got the second tow from Simon Wegang, and he's now like 5/10 up on Jarno, and that is a lot of distance in the qualifying. I think we've not seen a that good pole that often.
Well, I gotta say, if that is not the pole time, I will eat my hat as we now see Jarno Watme make his way around. He is literally just over 5/10 separating these two now. So Jarno could throw a surprise or two himself. You can see a car in the distance there. Could he get a potential tow going down the straight after the Ascari chicane? Who knows? As he makes his way down the stretch now, just going to break at the 100 mark once again. Swallow it on the curb there, keeping that Mercedes right in tow as he exits the Ascari now, and he bombs down the straight leading towards the Parabolica. What is it going to be if Jarno Watme and the Mercedes driver, the Silver Arrow, is looking to counteract the advances of Red Bull as they come round the Parabolica bend now? Just brushes a bit of the curb as he makes his way around and swings him out wide, and he drives down. What's it going to be for the Silver Arrows? It is going to be a 118.213. No change there, as you'll see on P2 as Simon Vigang comes across the line. In P3 he will stay. 118.239 the lap time, but we're still yet to see Photon's lap because he's coming round as well, the Parabolica. We haven't seen anything from Photon yet as he makes his way down the stretch. What's he going to post? Is this going to be an improvement as well in his lap? No, I don't think so. 118.432 the time he got, so he will be remaining where he is. But what a qualifying session. I got a feeling that might be the standings unless Arsene Kardanov can make a change. I got a feeling he's going slow. So that'll be it then, Maku. That is our grid order for the start of the Italian Grand Prix.
Yeah, and I think we'll have especially to watch out for Sam Wegang and not for Sam Wegang, for Sven Zerner and Fabrizio Donoso at the back, because those are two really fast guys, and they will be going through the field at the beginning of the race, and that will be very interesting.
Certainly will. I mean, God, these guys giving us a spectacle already in qualifying. It's been nothing short of absolutely amazing. I've got to be fair, we've been given a real stir here. But as we see here, Speed Barry takes P1 with a 117.780. Phenomenal lap time. The only driver to actually break the 117s. Jarno in P2, 118.213. CRG Simon Vigang P3. Hayes in P4. Cordy in P5, representing Renault there in P5. Great job from him. Kardanov in P6. Perez in P7. Kamil Coman P8. Photon P9, Calcifer P10, Napadovsky for Williams in P11, Steve Keelan completing the Ferrari lineup in P12. Jan Fiedler on his debut in P13. Alvaro Aznar P14. Kruzic P15. Zerner in P16. Brownie in P17. Jake in P18. And after the DNF there, Fabrizio Donoso is in P19 with Zones not able to field a lap time in P20 for Haas. And we're just bracing ourselves with anticipation now, guys. We head into what will be the formation lap. And we're looking forward to seeing what these guys can do as we're about to get set up here. It's going to be phenomenal. Any predictions, Baku, from yourself?
And so I think we'll have a battle between Speedbear and Jarno again, of course, for first place. Will take a while, but I think we'll see some nice overtakes. And yeah, let's see what Infamous can do too, because he's third in the championship and he's a little bit further back of the grid. Then we have the two McLaren, the one coming from the back and the other one already in third. Also someone for podium. So yeah, could be quite interesting and mixed race.
It certainly will, and I got to say that who will ever come on top out of turn one, that'll be the big decider, I think. Naturally, they all get grouped together, and it can really turn a race around after an exit out of turn one. Sorry, it depends on who obtains the like we say, the better exit as they come out now on the formation lap, and very shortly we will be seeing these guys warm up the tyres and get ready for the start of this Grand Prix. And as they do so, you can see their Speed Barry leading them out there. In behind him, Jarno Opmeer, P2. Simon Vigang just in behind as well, and naturally will be Speed Barry looking to obviously obtain yet another victory this season and still increase his gap on the rest of the grid with a P1 here. Jarno Opmeer P2, so it is very much a battle at the moment between those two. Though don't count out the likes of Simon Vigang or many of the others on this track, Maku. All of them have a great opportunity of scoring some points.
Yeah, and I think everyone who has this opportunity will grab it, so we'll see what happens there. And yeah, let's see who comes out on top.
Looking round the Lesmos now, and as you can see, weaving round the track is Speed Barry and the rest of the grid as well. So, Fabrizio Donoso obviously has to be disappointed with what happened in qualifying, but he is in P19, and we all know that he's no stranger to making overtakes. We see a Ferrari in the distance go off the track. I'm not sure who that was. I think it might have been Photon, in fact. Photon, unfortunately, exiting the track on the formation lap and is just recovering himself after the second Lesmos. The Lesmos can catch you out, though very rarely we see something like that happen in qualifying. I do remember years ago David Coulthard losing it, though that was in the rain when he was driving for Williams in the earlier stages of his career, as they now make their way down the stretch leading towards the Parabolica. These guys warming the tyres up now, and very soon they will be forming themselves onto the grid, ready for the start of this Grand Prix. Look at them together, floods of different colours in the background, and they're making their way around the famous Parabolica now. Very much a corner over the years that has provided lots of drama, Grand Prix wins and Grand Prix losses alike, as they make their way towards their grid positions now. We're going to have a lovely view of the start of this Grand Prix as we see Speed Barry now head towards P1. His slot on the grid, Jarno Opmeer lining up alongside him now. And we'll look forward to seeing what these guys can do now for the start of this race. There they are. There's Jarno at the start now. You can see a good view down towards the first corner, which will be the Rettifilio chicane, as we now see the drivers lined up ready for the start of this Grand Prix. First light, second light, third light, fourth light, the fifth light! And it's pedal to the metal, go, 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 go! And Speed Barry was a little slow there, entering his bay, as we now see Jarno Opmeer take the lead in behind. Simon Vigang tracking Jarno Opmeer. He knows where the pace is as they make their way down towards the start of the chicane now. And Jarno Opmeer takes the lead for the Silver Arrows, followed by Speed Barry in P2, CRG Simon P3, and P4 is Corny as they make their way around the Curva Grande now. No Grande moves here at the start of this Grand Prix so far. It's been relatively clean as they make their way down towards the next chicane, and it's Jarno Opmeer on P1 at the start of this Italian Grand Prix, making his way around the Lesmos now. Maku, what an incredible start. No drama really.
There is a lot of drama. There's someone spun out in the second chicane after Curva Grande, and there was a spin directly on the grid, on the starting grid. It was Kruzic who got, I think, hit from Brownie.
Blimey, I didn't see any of that. What? You have better eyes than me, obviously, Baku, going round the...
Yeah, I was thinking about it. That's why I was Sven, because I thought he would have a great start, and he's already 5 places up. So yeah, he's pushing through that grid.
Yeah, Fabrizio Donoso in P14 and going toe-to-toe with Jake at the moment. So the Renault and the Silver Arrows really going on the attack as they make their way around. We could have a 3-wide battle here with the Haas of Zones in behind these two as they make their way around the world-famous Parabolica. And it is going to be Fabrizio Donoso going, taking P13, at least for the time being, and that changes to P12 because he's got Jake alongside him, and he's got Zones on the inside as well. Bernardo Perez tracking these as well as they make their way down to turn 1. Hopefully it's nice and clean as they make their way round, and Zones, what a move from the Haas driver. He has managed to overtake both of them as they make their way round now towards the Curva Grande, and there goes Zones off the track. And Fabrizio Donoso maintains the car, but Zones is not going away as they make their way around now, heading towards the next chicane. And Fabrizio Donoso still battling it out with Zones, but Zones in all the drama. What a recovery to get off the grass and still maintain that P13. Phenomenal driving, Baku.
How did he hold that? His car was like nearly completely not. That was just insane.
I cannot believe he rescued it. Like you said, absolutely unbelievable. And for him to take it like he did, Fabrizio Donoso is going to be seething right now. He must have thought he had the opportunity to really take it, but no, not happening for him right now as we see now Jake getting closer to the front end of Zones. Zones looking like he's on fire right now with the pace that he's taking at this stage. And as they make their way down towards the Parabolica, just noticing there, Bernardo Perez just tracking these three and literally waiting for something to happen, because no doubt you wouldn't be a fool for thinking that there might be an accident or two at this famous Monza circuit. Very quick, but also the corners are very snappy and punchy. So one mistake can really cost you, as we can now see Zones under a lot of pressure from Fabrizio Donoso now as they head down towards turn 1 yet again, and you can see he has a look down the inside Zones and he has a go at Jake. Is he going to get him here? Very good driving, but Donoso in all the drama has taken him there, and it looks like they're going to go toe-to-toe really going around the famous Curva Grande. As you can see, Zones now with the Silver Arrows eyeing him up right now. Zones trying to defend for all he's worth, coming down towards the next chicane, but he holds on. He manages to battle off Fabrizio Donoso, and Calcifer has moved up to P6, Baku.
Yeah, so we have a lot of movement. I don't know why the gap isn't showing me at Calcifer, but that's some Codemasters thing, I think. But yeah, in the front we have less movement now, but this is just an awesome battle between Donoso and Zones. I think Bernardo Perez just tried to look at it through Curva Grande too, but he didn't quite get it. So, yeah.
No, we can't take our eyes at the moment off Zones at the moment. He's really having a truly almighty start to this Italian Grand Prix, really giving us a show as he makes his way down towards the Parabolica now. Jake in the distance, you can see, getting ever closer to the front end of that Haas car, and it looks like to me he swerved a little bit, lost the back end slightly as they make their way down, as Jarno Opmeer loses out to P1, 2, speed barrier as they come round towards turn 1, so the Red Bull takes advantage once again, Baku, and well, it says here to me that Photon's on top, but that's not true. He's at the back, but Speed Barry nicking P1, Baku, and Jarno Opmeer relegated to P2. It must have been a hell of a hellacious move going down towards turn 1.
Yeah, and both Fabrizio Donoso and Zones now overtook Jake, but Fabrizio Donoso wasn't able to catch up to Zones. So yeah, they both had DRS, so basically they were nearly as fast as the other one.
Well, Zones now under pressure once again. Yes, like you say, they've overtaken Jake now in the Renault, who's dropped down to P14, but Fabrizio Donoso applying the pressure around the first Lesmos here now, and they're catching up now with Steve and Alvaro Aznar as well, so we could well see an increase to the gap, but Zones swerving off the track there. This is a great chance for Fabrizio Donoso as they head down towards Ascari, and as you can see, they've got the entrance to Ascari, and he's done it! He's overtaken Zones, moved into P12, the Silver Arrow striking yet again, and he takes P12, and once again, Zones is trying to catch him.
Yeah, but now it's also time for him to fight up to the other ones, to catch up to Steve, to get this DRS again and to get to the front, where I think Fabrizio Donoso belongs, to fight up. And Jarno's just retaking the lead. Am I seeing correctly?
You have, certainly, yes, you've seen correctly indeed, Maku. He's now P1. I got a feeling we're going to have to remain with this battle for some time because Speed Barry and Jarno Watmir really giving us a dose of excitement here as they make their way around the Curva Grande. And as you can see behind, CRG Simon Vigang in P3 as well. And in behind them, Corny, who set a fastest lap earlier on, has now also joined the fray. So we've got a four-way tussle for P1 now as Jarno Watmir exits now the chicane, heading into the first Les Moss now. And as you can see behind, Speed Barry now trying to track the leader there, Jarno Watmir, eyeing him up. Is he going to make a move here, heading down towards Iscari? Can he get some traction here as the DRS opens? He punches it now. Naturally, Jarno Watmir not having DRS here on this straight. Speed Barry will, though, as they head down towards Iscari now. He'll take the first corner. Who's going to take it the best? And they both equally as good entering the Iscari chicane. Coming on the exit now. No DRS here on this straight, but as they come down, maybe some slipstream for Speed Barry to close the gap. And Jarno still maintaining P1, doing extremely well to battle back Speed Barry, our current championship leader. And certainly a great showing here from P1 and P2 in the championship. It's been nothing short of absolutely brilliant. It's been nothing short of fantastic as they come down the stretch now. And you can see Speed Barry opening up the DRS, go side by side with Jarno Watmir, coming down towards turn 1, and the Red Bull takes it back. It's one-on-one. It's mano a mano. It's Speed Barry and Jarno Watmir, folks. Welcome to Monza.
Yeah, I think that this will change every round, nearly every lap. We'll have a battle for the first place, so let's see who comes out on top at the end, especially when pit stops came in. What will happen then? We just had one, I think, from our new guy from Jan Fehler. Yeah, but I think that is also something typical about Monza. We have these 11 corners, and with just, I think, 6 real exits out of corners, because most of them are like chicanes. And you really need to get them right to have the maximum speed on the straights and to catch up to your opponent.
You can certainly be punished by making mistakes on these chicanes, can't you? They're so quick. One wrong move can really turn the tide. And as we've seen them now exit the Iscari chicane, there's still 4 among them at the moment. None of them separate. What a view we've got there as well, watching these cars go underneath the Emirates banner as they head towards the final Parabolica bend, which will soon see them on the straight again. And will Jarno Watmir once again open up the DRS and have another go at Speed Barry? He'll have every chance to do so now, as you can see it loading up, and he comes up and he punches it now, heading down the straight. You could see even Simon Vigan getting closer and closer to Jarno Watmir as they head down towards turn 1, and you can see Jarno getting closer, but not this time, Maku, not this time. He hasn't got the speed to overtake the Red Bull at this moment, but very soon they'll be taking the world famous Curva Grande. And will Jarno Watmir manage to make a Grande move here on Speed Barry as they make their way around the famous bend as they head down towards the straight? I think we've lost Fabrizio Donoso as well, Maku.
Yeah, I think he crashed in the pit lane or something, because he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane and then didn't finish. So
it certainly hasn't been his evening tonight. Has not been his evening at all as they make their way around the Lesmos now. I can't take my eyes off this one though, Maku. It's been absolutely phenomenal. And Simon Vigang as well, also part of the fray. Corny dropping back, but he's having a great race in P4. We got a yellow flag in Sector 2 as well. But like we said, folks, keep your eyes peeled. Don't throw away your tickets. It's going to be phenomenal. We're watching now Speed Barry burst down the stretch now, leading towards the Parabolica. And I got to say, I can't believe it's lap 7 already, because it's been absolutely flying. And we can see Jarno Watmir getting closer to the back of Speed Barry yet again. No doubt eyeing out another overtake here on the straight, leading down towards turn 1, Maku, as he opens up the power now, heading down towards the straight. Very soon he'll have the DRS. And he's looking like he's close enough as he now powers up, opens up the DRS now, heading down the straight. The fans watching in expectation, because Jarno Watmir come in on the outside of Speed Barry. You can see Simon Vigan behind, and he takes P1 yet again. Silver Arrows once again on top. Red Bull P2, but no doubt it's going to happen again as they come round the Curva Grande now, heading towards the next chicane. And you can see the Red Bull there still tracking that of Jarno Watmir in behind. Simon Vigan very closely behind as well. No doubt looking to pounce on any mistakes that are made in front of him as they come out now of that chicane, leading towards the first of the Lesmos here in lap 8 of 27. We're not even halfway through yet, folks, but by the time of the end of this race, I'm going to need a new voice box, Maku.
Yeah, you surely need it, because I don't know what's happening there in front, but it's really interesting. I thought even Sami would integrate in this battle for first down the first straight, but yeah, he didn't. So yeah, we were seeing them closing in onto Jarno. Again, Speedberry now in second. So yeah, let's see what they can do after the Parabolica with, again, DRS, and if Speedberry can retake his lead. But meanwhile, Stiv got lost on the way through the track, and as you said earlier, Lesmo corners can be pretty dangerous, and yeah, he went out in the first one.
Well, just to say, in all that, Speed Barry has now dropped into the pit lane, so now this will soon be decided on strategies, no doubt, Maku. Obviously can't beat each other on track, so why not beat each other on strategy? So it'll be interesting to see what sort of advantage Speed Barry gets after pitting for new tyres. He's now on the medium. So currently now, Jarno Watmir in front of this race now with Simon Vigang in P3. In behind them, Corney in P4. Hayes there, the teammate of Speed Barry, doing well, having a good race as well in P5. And in behind them, Napadovsky coming into play as well. He's in P7. He's in his own battle with Sven Zerner, who's actually cut the chicane there slightly and overtaken Napadovsky in the process. Now he's got to give the place back as they head round the next Lesmos. So unfortunately he's caught out there. We've lost Sven Zerner as well.
Yeah, very unfortunate, of course. Every time you disconnect from a race, you know, the AI is driving very much slower, and he could have had Napadovsky again if he just used the DRS on the straight, but yeah.
He certainly would have had more of an advantage going into the stretch and actually having the DRS. But as we see now, Napadovsky tracking Kalsifer right now. Kalsifer having a great race as well, a very much improved race from recent weeks, and he's now in P5 of this Grand Prix as we head round the Parabolica once again. And looking now, Napadovsky on the stretch, and you can see Kalsifer moving into the pit lane now. Naturally, a lot of the guys now on the softs will be looking to make their pit stops. Jarno Watmir also one of them, and that means that Simon Vigang is now the current leader of this Italian Grand Prix as Napadovsky heads down towards the turn 1, which will be the first chicane, making his way around the Curva Grande now. And as you can see there, Sven Zerner not yet returned to the session, so Zones will have a chance here, moving into P6 if he can catch up in time with the McLaren before Sven Zerner rejoins. And as they make their way round the Curva Grande now, Zones not on his own because Alvaro Aznar has also caught up with him now and is tracking that of the Haas Maku.
Yeah, let's see what he can do through these chicanes. You need always a good exit out of that, not touching the gravel on the left there. Going through Lesmo curves, the only like normal corners on this circuit. Yeah, now with the second DRS straight, let's see if he maybe can catch up to Zones a little bit further and then go for it on the main straight. But yeah, for that he also needs a good exit out of the third and last chicane section, or snake section. And of course out of the Parabolica, and you can see in front of Zones Sven Zerner, his AI driving slowly, so I think both of them will overtake him now.
Yeah, I think they will, yes. Zones has moved into P4 now. Alvaro Aznar also on the medium tyres, currently tracking Zones as well, and he's going to have DRS and have a chance to make a move here on the Haas driver for a chance at taking well, it will be P2 if he manages to overtake Zones, but he doesn't do it on this occasion as they head down now towards the first chicane. So a lot of the guys now have come into the pits. A lot of them opted for the hard tyres as well. And some of them are on 8-lap-old hards, so some of them starting, or maybe that was after a couple of incidents, no doubt, they've actually gone onto the harder tyres. The rest of the drivers on the mediums, though, and that includes the ones that haven't pitted yet. And the way things are at this moment in time, Speed Barry has come out in front of Jarno Watmir, and therefore, you could say, I suppose he has, the net lead of the race, Maku.
Yeah, indeed, because Sven Zerner is now out on 10 laps of mediums, so he had to pit again, and he's the one who goes to dry. And Sergi Simon was the other one in front. He has now 2 fresh mediums, but I think he has lost a lot of time with this pit stop. He's now 2.4 seconds behind.
Yeah, the strategy has not worked out for Simon Vigang, unfortunately, and obviously his teammate is out, has left the session, so we're not sure what's going to happen with Sven Zerner yet. As you can see there, Speed Barry overtaking the McLaren right now as they head down the straight, leading towards the Parabolica. Jarno Opmeer are about to do the same as well. He's closely in behind Speed Barry and has just overtaken Sven Zerner's car as well as they make their way around the swinging right-hander. The Parabolica, of course, as they make their way down the straight now. Jarno Opmeer with the DRS now as he opens it up, and not quite close yet for a overtake, and I think he's just nailed the fastest lap as well, Jarno Opmeer, and is now 4/10 in behind Speed Barry, making their way down towards the first chicane as they make their way towards the Curva Grande. And you could say that Jarno Opmeer are getting close enough. Could we see a potential Grande move here at the Italian circuit as they make their way around the bend now? Speed Barry not close enough to the front end of Jarno Opmeer for a move to be made, so they're going to make their way down towards the next chicane. And once again, very steady going through the curves now. Very nice exit between the two. Jarno maybe brushing the gravel trap a little bit there as they come round the first Lesmos now. And as they make the entrance on the right-hand side, some of the fastest right-hand bends on this, certainly in Grand Prix racing are those Lesmos. If you get it wrong, it can be oh so wrong. If you get it right, it can be oh so right as they make their way down the stretch now. Very soon to enter the Ascari chicane. Jarno Opmeer getting closer and closer to the back end of Speed Barry now. 3/10 separating these two pretty much. They make their way onto the straight, and you can see the big Emirates fly better sign above them now. And that Mercedes Maku getting ever closer to the back of Speed Barry.
Yeah, I think he's going to take a look. He's getting real close into the Parabolica, and now he's got also DRS. I'm not sure if his exit was better than Speed Barry's, but sure, he will be a little bit faster through the DRS, and let's see if he can at least get side to side with him. But no, it isn't enough. I think his exit out of Parabolica was a little bit bad.
Well, they're coming out of the first chicane area, leading towards the Curva Grande yet again. We are now in lap 13 of 27 here, nearly the halfway point of this Grand Prix. Speed Barry still leads the way here in the net lead of this Grand Prix. Only 4 cars ahead of him currently, or should I say 3 cars, sorry. And 2 of them are right in front of them now, that being Zones and Alvaro Aznar. Alvaro Aznar, incidentally, having a good race too, managed to fight off Zones as well. Napadovsky's still ahead of him though, and that gap is now separated by just over 9 seconds. They make their way around the Lesmos now. Speed Barry still leading the way, net lead of the race, currently going to the Red Bull at the moment, but the Silver Arrows of Jarno Opmeer is not giving up without a fight as they come down now towards the Ascari chicane now, and Speed Barry will take it now easy into the first bend and the second, and heads down towards the straight, no doubt trying to get a little bit of slipstream off the cars in front of him. And naturally, these cars are going to be blue flag. They're going to have to move out the way to... well, actually, no, they won't have to because they are actually in front of them. They're not back markers as they make their way around the Parabolica now. Heading down towards the stretch here. We got over 39 people live in the chat right now. I'd like to say big welcome to all you guys as we now see Speed Barry making a move on the outside of Zones now. And as he does so, that'll be P3. No doubt, Jarno Opmeer trying to stick with the Red Bull. And as he does so, gets in the slipstream of Speed Barry. And he overtakes Zones as well. So it's a double overtake there, leading up to the first chicane, and that enables Jarno Opmeer to stay in tow with Speed Barry. Speed Barry trying to shake Jarno here, using some of these slower cars as a bit of a barrier, Maku.
Yeah, maybe those slow cars always are like kind of useful for those people overtaking, but maybe maybe also a little bit of barrier for the ones. Yeah, it depends. If they're letting one pass and one don't, then they may be good for one or another of them.
Well, Speed Barry now making a move. Sorry to cut you off there, Maku. And Speed Barry's done it. He's moved into net P. Well, he's in net P1, but P3 for now. And he's P2. Sorry, because obviously the telemetry's having a bit of a mess up there. And he's taken the net P1. Jarno Opmeer following suit now, moving in to P2 as things stand. Well, net P2, should I say. Napadovsky still in front because he hasn't pitted on his 14-lap all mediums just yet. And they're separated, Speed Barry and Napadovsky, by none other than just over 8.5 seconds. So still a bit to find. But no doubt, in the context of a pit stop, Speed Barry will no doubt take the lead. As we now see Jarno Opmeer having a little look down the inside there of Speed Barry as they make their way out of the chicane now. And the Red Bull still donning the front in front of that Mercedes right now. As you can see, the other two drivers, Zones and Alvaro Aznar, in behind. behind them as well. Simon Vigang 2 seconds behind. You just saw him there in the distance take the first chicane as they head down towards the next chicane now. And it's still Speed Barry in front of Jarno Opmeer right now, but Jarno still keeping in tow of that Red Bull as they head round towards the first Les Moss now. The second Les Moss will be being in front of them now very, very shortly. Very, very smooth on the power and smooth on the braking. Goes down in gear twice, heads over towards the straight. Now in the DRS zone now. And Speed Barry won't have DRS this time. And he'll have Jarno Opmeer getting closer and closer and closer to his back end now as they head towards the 100 metre mark and will soon be braking and powering down. The gear shifts now, heading out of the Sky chicane, leading towards the straight. And Speed Barry still in front at the moment. And looking like Mercedes will very, very soon be making a move here. Jarno Opmeer eyeing up Speed Barry for maybe a move here on the home stretch, and he gets closer and closer round the Parabolica now. And you can see the silver arrows. He's looking menacing, Maku.
Yeah, let's look if he goes for a move. But he isn't really. I think he's not really gaining enough this laps. So basically, Speed Barry is still fast enough, even without DRS, to hold Jarno behind him. And so I'll think he has a good opportunity if he don't make any mistakes to take the win. If Jarno doesn't put against that now. But as we look at the ERS deployment, Jarno is currently in mode 0, or is this just a bugging in the game again? Yeah, I think everyone is in mode 0 at my game, so yeah.
Well, we're just watching Corny now because he's getting closer and closer to the back of Hayes, the other Red Bull in this race. Currently in what will be P7 in this Grand Prix, because naturally Photon would be towards the rear of the pack. The telemetry wrong at the moment, folks, so do not pay much attention to it. As we're now watching Corny now make a move here, potentially on Hayes. He's got the DRS. No, not this time. They're coming up towards the Ascari chicane once again, and Hayes trying to fight off the advances here of Renault at the moment. The Corny and Hayes doing battle here down the straight now, very soon to be tackling the Parabolica. Naturally no love lost here between the likes of Red Bull and Renault as they make their way around the world famous Parabolica bend as they head round it now. You can see Hayes in the distance there, and very soon they'll be going to do battle here on the straight leading towards turn 1, which will be the first chicane. As you can see, the DRS is opened up now, and you can see Corny about to make a move, and he does so on Hayes on the inside, and the Renault has swooped into P5. Well, that'll be, yeah, P5, net P5 as things stand, because Napadovsky's still yet to pit, and Corny now will maintain that P5 position with Hayes now in P6.
Yeah, a beautiful overtake from Corny. But yeah, as we're watching nearly all the time, Jarno and Speed Barry, I've got a little fun fact about them. So basically, after the last 5 races, every time Jarno finishes first, we have Speed Barry finishing in 4th, and every time Speed Barry finishes first, with Jarno in 3rd place. So let's see if this continues this race, or if we'll see a 1-2 finish today.
Well, it's a phenomenal fact, that, to be honest, Maku, and I gotta say, very interesting. Though, hopefully, we'll see a change in the tide, and obviously nice to get little tidbits like that, obviously, and it's just interesting. It's amazing how these little things can happen in Formula 1 racing, but naturally, you know, the weird and wonderful always comes into play as we now see Hayes closing up on Corny as they make their way round towards the famous Parabolica. Corny trying to hold off the advances of Hayes, the Red Bull driver now trying to make waves. As we see Napadovsky dive into the pit lane now, and Jarno Opmeer now the official leader of the Grand Prix. We now see Hayes moving on the inside now of Corny as they make their way down towards the first chicane, and it is going to be Hayes that moves into P4. The Red Bulls are now in Ps 2 and 4. Maximum potential big points going to the Red Bull team today, and no doubt they'll help them in their quest to win the Constructors' Championship.
They're already leading, and they needed these points because they're, as you said earlier, I think in qualifying, they're only 2 points ahead of Mercedes. But yeah, with a 2-4 finish, they will of course get many more points than Mercedes does now in first, and Fabrizio De Nosu unfortunately caught out somewhere and is last for that.
Well, Red Bull, like you say, Maku, they're going to want to take full advantage of that fact, because naturally Mercedes a little bit one-legged now in this Grand Prix, with only Jarno Opmeer currently left in this Italian Grand Prix, with Fabrizio De Nosu unfortunately DNFing earlier on, and so there's a lot of pressure now on Jarno to try and maintain that P1 finish and hopefully bring maximum points down for Mercedes, given the fact they've only got one driver left on track. As you can see, Speed Barry now on the Parabolica, trying to gun down on Jarno Watmir right now, but you can see that gap is now increasing. Jarno trying to move out the slipstream there of Speed Barry to try and avoid it as they make their way down towards P1, and Speed Barry having a little look down the inside, but actually not enough track left for him to make a move there. And as they make their way around the first chicane now, very soon they'll have the Curva Grande right ahead of them now, as we now see Camille Common is now DNF'd out of the race there on 16 lap old hards. Maybe starting to feel a bit slick, Maku.
Yeah, possible. I think he caught out just after the car chicane. Yeah, he hit the wall on the right. He couldn't hold it steady. Yeah, it wasn't the hard tires. I think the hard tires are not easy to drive, especially on a high-speed circuit, Monza. And yeah, well, that's the end of the race for him.
Well, Simon Vigang now in all the drama has managed to close the gap, and actually the safety car has probably helped him a little bit. He is now only 8/10 behind Speed Barry, and if you remember, at the start of this Grand Prix, Simon Vigang was very, very close to the front pairing.
But Simon got a penalty. He got a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car.
Well, I've got to say that 5 seconds could prove costly. That could prove costly, certainly at the end of this race, because these guys very tight together, and Simon Vigang knows this, and no doubt it's not going to help his day-to-day, but naturally he's got to keep powering on. It'll be good points for McLaren right now. His teammate currently, Sven Zerner, in P13, currently 13, nearly 14 seconds behind Zones at this stage. He's got 18 lap-old mediums on, and unfortunately I don't think he's rejoined, no, so he's now down to P11. To be honest, I think his AI's done an incredibly good job to stay in P11, to be honest with you. So credit to the F1 AI for that, as we now look down. Arsene Kardanov, currently in P12. And it looks like the Alfa Romeo is making its way out of the Scarish chicane now, currently 6.5 seconds behind Sven Zerner. And just looking further up now, we can see a lot of drama going on above, and lots of drivers opting for the pits. And Jarno now makes his way out of the first chicane. Napadovsky moving in to P2 as things stand. Naturally, the safety car now being caught up. Be interesting to see how this works, because I don't know why, but the telemetry seems to have brought Napadovsky forward. I'm not sure whether that should be the case. Maybe it should be. I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something that's really I'm not sure what to say about this, but yeah, John and Simon pitted, but yeah, Napadovsky is in second place.
Yeah, well, that could have worked out really well for Napadovsky, because he's only got 2 laps on those soft tyres, and we've only got 7 laps remaining, so naturally that'll mean 9 laps on soft tyres. That is extremely doable.
And
Maku.
Speed stop. Oh no, he doesn't. He's on medium, is what I'm talking. He doesn't stop. So basically, Napadovsky has a really good chance of overtaking Speed Barry with a really young medium, soft.
Well, the race has been turned all on his head now, and really, Napadovsky is under the safety car, managed to gain some bonus places here, and P2 alone would be brilliant for the Williams team, though they are currently P4 in the championship, currently being separated by 27 points, 27 points in the Drivers' Championship. Williams currently with 54 points, McLaren on 80. If they can get some serious points today, Maku, and close the gap, Bernardo Perez currently in 11th, and if he can close the gap as well and get into the points, it could be really important, really, for their constructing standing hookings, really. You know, they really need the points.
Yeah, with the unfortunate disconnect of Sven, McLaren isn't gaining that much points, and Simon with this drive-through penalty will also lose a lot of places now. But yeah, let's see how that'll do.
Well, he's in the midst now of P3 now, Napadovsky. Currently lap 21 of 27, and those softs certainly will be in reasonable state, certainly not being used too heavily now under the safety car as they make their way around towards the first Lesmos, and they want to keep the tyres as warm as possible to maintain some of the grip. And now we've got Speed Barry now in the lead of the race. He's on 12 lap old mediums according to my screen now, so not on the fastest tyre, and he's going to be fodder really for the guys behind him. They must be eyeing him up like a tasty chicken right now, Maku.
Yes, for sure. I mean, like, all of the field is unsoft, and they're all catching up to Speedberry, and he's on his old mediums, and he now is everything what he could do to late.
Well, they're coming out of Ascari now, and very soon, hopefully, the safety car will be back in the pit lane, and we will see racing go back ahead. Nabadovsky trying to stick to the back end of the Red Bull of Speedberry to try and get a proper start out of the safety car, and no doubt Jarno Opmeer looking to dispatch those ahead of him as well. Jarno's got every chance here of turning this around as well. He's got the faster tyres on, and his are currently 2 laps better off than what CRG Nabadovsky's are, and it'll certainly be a good well, from Speedberry as well, it'd be a good show of character from both of those drivers to try and keep hold of their respective positions, with lots of potential race winners behind them as well. The likes of Simon Vigang still very much in touch on his softs as well. He also changed onto a fresh compound. So we've got lots of opportunities here on the track.
Lots of fresh rubber. But the funny thing is, if they would finish, the first 3 would finish like that now. We again had Speedberry in first and Jarno in third.
Well, by the sounds of it, we could be seeing the way things are winding up. Jarno, Simon, and Napa. According to the comments, Napa P2 on penalties potentially is being shown here in the chat right now. So it looks like we could be seeing some real dramas in these last dying few laps. Now we've only got 5 laps remaining in this Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting really we're starting to see some fisticuffs. Sven Zerner's joined back now.
So maybe he's able to do some overtakes. I mean, we have a safety car. He's now really close to each other, and if he takes back his car, he may be able to even get in the points in these last 5 laps. I mean, we know he's a really fast race driver.
Well, do you remember Japan? I mean, that was phenomenal. I mean, we watched that, and he had that tyre change late on. We all thought it was a very strange, a very interesting strategy, and he managed to make it happen. And the amount of overtakes we saw in the dying laps were absolutely phenomenal. I think we're about to see the safety car go into the pit lane now as the cars slow down, getting ready for the restart. And as they make their way down towards the Parabolica bend, it's going to be certainly an interesting viewing. I've got to say, everyone in the chat is absolutely primed. The comment section's going absolutely ballistic. I think Nicholas Longay giving his analyst stats in the live chat. Good evening to you, Nicholas. As we now head round the Parabolica, now ready for the restart of this Grand Prix, and it looks like Speedberry getting away well. So does Nabadovsky in behind Jarno Opmeer, and we see a move there. Corny making a move on Jan Fieler. Jan Fieler really under pressure now as they make their way down towards the first chicane, and it looks like Corny has held off Jan Fieler, and Kalsifer's dropped down to P10. But you can see there, Jan Fieler not letting go, but he's P-drop back. The Renault of Corny making waves up into P8. Looking further down, Kruzic netting himself a P12. But as we look further up now, the battle is on for P1. Nabadovsky not letting Speedberry go after the Curva Grande, heading down towards the next chicane. But the Red Bull holding him off, and they come round the exit now. The Williams of Nabadovsky not giving up without a fight. Jarno Opmeer looking to dispatch him round the first Lesbos. Oh, what a move! Absolutely phenomenal move. Jarno Opmeer sweeping round the inside on the first Lesbos. Takes P2, Baku. Incredible scenes.
Absolutely incredible that he has so much trust in his car to go around there. But yeah, now he's chasing for Speedberry, and we'll see another great battle for them. I think he sure will have better exit out of the Parabolica just because of his soft tires, and he will surely get Speedberry onto the main straight. But yeah, let's see how this battle continues. Oh, he even takes a look before Parabolica to try to go alongside Speedberry.
He is in pole position.
Onto the main straight.
Forget DRS, Maku. Forget DRS. He's on fresher soft tyres. Forget DRS, because he's making a move now on the inside, of Speedberry, heading down towards turn 1. This could decide the winner of this Grand Prix as they come down towards the first chicane. And yes, he's done it! He's done it! The Silver Arrows takes P1. What a move in the last lap or two. And you can see Speedberry now under pressure. Simon Vigang making a Curva Grande. It's going to be a Grande move for Simon Vigang as they come down towards the first chicane. And indeed, as they made their way down towards the next chicane, it is Simon Vigang in P2. And we've lost the driver. We've lost one.
Nabadovsky tried too, but he got spun out of the second chicane. So yeah, he's now back all the way down the grid in 16th.
Phenomenal. And already Jarno Opmeer gaining a second over CRG Simon right now. Speed Barry relegated to P3. His 15 lap on mediums being tested to the max as they make their way down the straight, leading towards the Ascari chicane as he breaks down with the 100. He smashes over the first chicane, the first curve, making his way out of the chicane now. He got Simon Vigan just ahead of him now, a second separating these two zones. Eyeing up Speed Barry now on his precious 7 lap old soft tyres. Naturally not seen a lot of work since the safety car. We've got just over 3 laps remaining, folks. Hayes made a move on Alvaro Aznar on the outside. Red Bull coming back into play now with Hayes now in P5 as Jarno Opmeer sets the fastest lap of a 120.983. Absolutely phenomenal lap time there from him in race conditions as they come down now towards the next chicane now. VSR Corny being making a move. There's lots of moves happening.
Zones around the outside from Speedberry through the first chicane. We have now Speedberry in third.
And he's done it. Zones has done it, like you say, Maki. Also, we had a 3-way tussle round towards the first corner. Jan Fila making a Grande move here on the curve of Grande, and he overtakes Alvaro Aznar as they head down towards the first chicane. And he's done it. He's done it. He's done it. We got a tussle here as well, though, as Calcifer notches into what looks to be P6. I'm nearly losing my voice, Maku. It's been absolutely unreal. Corny now in P7. Bernardo Perez has moved up to P8. Williams still in the points with Alvaro Aznar in P9 now. He's been relegated to. This is literally nip and tuck right to the finish. Lap 25 and 27, folks. We're nearly at the end. It's been nothing short of exquisite.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of drivers who've shown their best today, who've never been that far up. Zones did a really great job today in P2 now, and he never finished even on the podium. So, yeah, a big achievement for him.
Well, I've got to say, this is absolutely unbelievable. We haven't seen a race like this all season. Japan was quite harem scarum. This has been nothing short of brilliant as they make their way down the straight now. Speed Barry being eyed up now by his teammate Hayes, who's now got DRS on him, though 8% ERS remaining on the car, and that's not going to serve him right as he makes his way down towards the first chicane now. You can see Zones in the distance still being pressurised by Speed Barry despite the difference in tyre life at the moment. Speed Barry with 17 lap old medium tyres. If he could get a podium, that would be a truly great result for him, but I got a feeling his teammate Hayes might have the better of him here. In the meantime, Jarno Opmeer now stretching his lead out by at least 2 seconds, and I got to say, he's looking dominant, Maku.
Yeah, and that would again prove the theory of and there's the overtake done.
Well,
just into the first Seismo corners, going around the inside, easily moved. Well, I think that was just, yeah.
Sorry, Maku, this is going to change the driver's standings right up, because this result could see Jarno Opmeer now take P1 in the driver's standings. They're 4 points separating the pair of them right now, and the Mercedes could find himself once again on top step. We have seen action after action, battle after battle. It's been a switcheroo all over the circuit. Corny, incidentally, also coming up to Calcifer on the track, separating by 3/10 between these two. And further back, Bernardo Perez coming into play in P8. We're now about to start the final lap of this Grand Prix, folks, with Jarno Opmeer rounded round the Parabolica now, and Zones has cut that gap by 0.5 of a second. So can the Haas driver, after starting from the back of the grid earlier on at the start of this Grand Prix, and he's now in P2, that's got to be a tip for driver of the day, Maku.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And the other funny important thing is that in current position, Speed Barry would again be in fourth. Oh, and with Corey, I think, spinning off into the first chicane. I think he went off into the gravel.
And he has, and Alvaro Aznar has actually taken his place in P8. So Alvaro Aznar now moving back up further in the points now. And we're looking ahead now. Bernardo Perez making a move there on what looks to be Calcifer as they make their way round towards the Les Moss now. And the Williams has the advantage going round. He's got the inside line as they make their way around the second Les Moss. And it looks like now Bernardo Perez holding on to P6, keeping Calcifer at bay now. And there's a gap between Jan Fila and Bernardo Perez of just over, I would say, about 2 seconds separating the pair of them now as they make their move now. And here comes Calcifer yet again running his car in chicane. Those two do it battle wheel to wheel here, Maku, as they come out now. And once again, Calcifer holding on to P6, but they're going wheel to wheel yet again, Maku. Phenomenal scenes.
Really a beautiful battle, and behind them also a 2-IL between, I think, Corny and Krusik. Now Corny's. Oh, who's winning this? Oh, that will be a photo finish.
Jarno Opmeer taking P1, Speed Barry on penalties taking P2, Jan Fila on his first Grand Prix visit, P3, for the Racing Point driver. Hayes taking P4. Great points for Red Bull today. Zones in P5. An incredible drive all the way from the back of the grid. What a phenomenal Grand Prix, folks. It's been nothing short of exquisite. Oh, unbelievable scene. I'm not going to forget interviews this time, Maku. I'm not going to forget them.
Yeah, that is good. That is good. So then we have a beautiful transition. But yeah, I think unfortunate for Zones that he wasn't then on the podium final because of penalties, for sure. But yeah, it was a really great race from him.
It was absolutely unbelievable. As the guys now celebrate on the top step of the podium now, you can see the Mercedes of Jarno Opmeer. Once again, he now gains further points towards his Drivers' Championship quest now. Speed Barry getting back into P2 after a great drive despite having those aged mediums on and managing to recoup P2 on penalties. We'll go through the final standings now. Jarno Opmeer P1 with Mercedes there, and Speed Barry P2 for Red Bull Racing. Jan Fieler on his debut, P3 for Racing Point. Hayes in P4, Zones in P5, Photon in P6. Napadovsky, after cruising around on track earlier on after a little incident at the chicane, gets P7. Great recovery. Browning in P8, Calcifer P9. Bernardo Perez completed the Williams lineup. Both of them in the top 10, getting in the points this week. As we can see, Alvaro Asnar P11, Corny in P12. So he had a great drive today, though the result didn't really match his driving in the race. Kruzich there in P13. Sven Zerner 14th after leaving the session earlier on. Simon Wiengang, the unfortunate commodity, ending down towards P15. But what a phenomenal Grand Prix, folks. I hope you've all enjoyed it. We're just about to have the drivers in for an interview now very shortly, so please don't go away. If you haven't done so already as well, though, folks, please leave a like and a subscribe down below. Please like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to ORL Racing. My name's been George Morgan, and he's been Maku. I hope you've enjoyed our commentary here this evening. And very soon we'll bring the guys in for interviews. But Maku, give us your thoughts on the race as a whole. I know we could go on forever discussing this one, but it's been absolutely brilliant. And I got to say, we can't not talk about it.
Yeah, we've seen like 1,000 overtake like everywhere, into every corner. And I think that's something special about Italy too. You can like nearly in every corner overtake. In some it's like tricky, but we've seen it everywhere. And it was just the battle between Speedberry and Jarno, the safety car then coming out, changing like everything. It was just an amazing race.
I think that's got to be race of the season so far, without question. The amount of battles we have, Monza never fails to disappoint, and once again they've given us a show. And I got to say, big credit to everybody in the live chat as well for stopping by as well. It's been phenomenal having everyone here. We're just going to go towards the interviews now. So bear with me, folks. It's I got to say, what a day's racing we've had indeed. Absolutely exquisite. We're just going to wait for the guys to enter the chat now. But what a race. What an absolute brilliant race. 27 guys in the chat just currently watching at the moment. Just waiting for the...
Yeah, let the drivers a few seconds. They've just driven a 50% race, so yeah. Wait, I think...
Yeah, I think they're going to need to get the fluids into them, I think, after that one. I certainly would be. If I was Jarno, I'd be shaking in my boots. Oh,
they don't have the drink, like Kimi.
You know, they don't have Kimi. You won't have the drink. You won't have the drink, Kimi. Yeah. Speed Barry, welcome to the chat, sir.
Thanks, man. Wow.
Yeah, what a race, eh? And Fehler as well. He's joined as well. Phenomenal first start for you, Fehler.
Man, I just did a mistake in a strategy, and I thought I'm gonna finish like P7 or P8. Well, I don't know. Somehow I managed to get P2. Wow.
Oh, I tell you what, don't knock it, because you've got it. So it's good. What a phenomenal race. You have no idea how much I was screaming in the commentary box just now. Poor Maku has got no eardrums left.
It was like... especially all the overtakes was like... Ah!
Yeah, I was like defending like I'm a glory. Yeah, but I'm not really happy with the result actually, but yeah, because with that mistake it's a good result.
Yeah. If you take all the experience and what happened on track on board, you got to say P2 not really a bad place to be, and I think you're still up there obviously with you're still on top of the standings, I believe, because the points gap is was still, I think, around about 4 points going into the race. So I think you've still maintained it, I believe.
No, isn't
No.
it 25 and 20?
Yeah.
Oh, so by a
he has-
point. By a point,
Yeah.
no less. Wow, blimey. So fair dues to you. You know, you're obviously going to have to try and beat him back now.
Yeah, I know. Actually, Jarno is like he finished fourth in the esports. So if I'm gonna just beat him, I'm gonna be really happy, and it's a pleasure to racing with him.
Yeah, I got to say, we're very lucky to have the caliber of drivers we have here at ORL. It certainly does give us a lot of screaming and shouting to do in the commentary box, and it's great viewing for the guys here on YouTube as well. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who stopped by and watched as well. We seem to be attracting many viewers, and I got to say it's a testament to you all guys and the way you race as well. And that goes for Fila as well. Fila, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. You survived that one then. You made it. You made it.
Yeah, that was close, that final corner.
Yeah.
I guess you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
He used the car and was already like crying. But yeah. Now I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is that close? That should have been P2 easily. Well,
Yeah.
not easily, but you know, considering the situation in the final corner. Damn.
Oh mate, it was I cannot believe it. I was watching you going through, and I got to admit you made some great overtakes. Simon Vigang's joined us now. So hello Simon, hope you're good.
Hello. Yeah, not so good actually, but hey.
No, well, I got to say you look promising at the start, but I tell you what, I don't want to use all my questions up now because I'm waiting for Jarno Opmeer to join us as well because I want to make sure we've got everyone here. I don't want to use all my ammunition and fire it off all straight away.
Yeah, he said he'd come, so
Yeah, come on, Jarno, don't let me down, buddy.
yeah, I think he just needs a second. There he is.
I don't blame him. I'd need a second as well after that one.
Yeah.
Crikey. Jarno, are you
Yeah.
there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I could tell you didn't have a drink before that race.
No, no, I didn't.
Right, guys, I gotta say, right, we'll start now. What a race, guys. I gotta say, probably the best in the ORL Championship this season, without question. I'm sure you'd all agree with me. But Jarno,
Yes.
taking P1, phenomenal result. You and Speed Barry going toe-to-toe in the first initial laps, overtake after overtake. You come out on top. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, it was we had to make a quick decision when the safety car came out. So yeah, I thought softs were the best to the end, which it was. So yeah, the first few laps were quite exciting battle. So yeah.
Yeah, naturally now, we were just discussing it. There was a point separating you and Speed Barry in the driver's standings. What are your feelings going into the next race? Because naturally, it's going to be nip and tuck now, surely. The pressure's got to be on. There's a little bit of sweat coming on the brow, no doubt. What are your thoughts going into next week?
With the next few tracks, I'm really confident. I think Hockenheim, USA are on there. Sure, quite good tracks for me. So yeah, I'm quite confident about the next few tracks.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. I'm sure Speed Barry's delighted to hear that, without a shadow of a doubt. We'll just go through the next one. Thank you, Jarno. We'll just go through to Speed Barry now. Speed Barry, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Got to say, P2, an unexpected P2, but despite all the chaos and all the drama, you've got to be pleased with that, considering the incident surrounding the safety car strategy didn't quite go your way towards the end. Though, despite a really, really heroic start, you obviously lost the first place to Maku at the first corner, but you immediately punched it back. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, actually, was really me and Jarno, and like in a spa in Monza, when the DRS is quite OP here, you have to just help each other to just go away. And me and Jarno, I think we just really playing the DRS together. We just changed the first place, I think every lap, and we can. Just after race was really good for me, just playing really good. And then when the safety car came out, in the last corner, I just made a bad decision to didn't pit, but Jarno actually pitted. So GG to him and congrats to Jarno and Fela. And Fela was really close to get me on the last lap, and then I got a really big slide. But GG to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Naturally, if it wasn't going to be the race pace separating you two, like I said in the stream, strategy was going to. We're now going to go to our third place finisher. Congratulations, by the way, Speed Barry. We're going to go now to Fela. Thaler, what a first race for you, sir. Coming into ORL for the first time, taking a P3 on your first exploit, naturally nearly getting a P2 off Speed Barry, depending on how things were going. What were your thoughts after that one? Surely you've got to be delighted.
I'm delighted, yeah, I'm very happy. I mean, first race podium, I'll take that.
Yeah, how did you feel the race pace went? Did you feel it was strong? You obviously...
Race pace was brilliant, yeah. Quality pace should have been good as well, but funny story. I wasted some time at the start of the lobby because of all the issues and trying to get all the people in. And I aborted the first run because I can't, just what you do in Italy. Did 2 more runs, and on the second run I realized, okay, either this is my final run, or I abort this lap and do another at the end of the session. So I was on course for like 0.3 or something, but said, nah, I'm better than that. So went into the pits, aborted the lap, went out again for the final one, and then did a 0.5 because I screwed it up at Ascari. Brilliant.
Well, I got to say, it's definitely a sign of things to come. I'm sure you're going to be looking at the next few races. Have you looked at the calendar? Is there some certain tracks that we can expect to see you really sort of take the bull by the horn, so to speak?
I have no idea what the calendar looks like.
Well, I've
So I can maybe help that. We have next up we're going to Texas, to Austin, to the Circuit of the Americas, and then with China, Australia, Germany, Canada, and Brazil.
Oh, I love Brazil.
there we go.
We're looking for a great season finale.
Yeah.
So am I going to put all my chips to the centre of the table and say Fieler's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix?
I wouldn't bet on that, but maybe you could bet on a podium. That would be fine.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep that in mind. Hopefully we'll see you back in the winner's circle yet again. But congratulations on a very, very good P3 today. Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, thank you. It was great fun.
Simon Vigang, last but not least, sir. Very, very dramatic race for yourself. Looking like you were going to be in the top spot yet again after the race start, but seemed to be a bit deflated towards the end. Can you talk us through it? What happened?
No, deflated. It was a drive-through penalty I got.
Oh, going through the pit lane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. I got to say,
So on the safety car, I had some reason, I don't know. I think I just went too fast. Apparently, I think I just thought too much about what I'm gonna do, and I didn't really look at the speed. And then I got a drive-through. I mean, I was P2 behind Jano. Maybe would have been a battle in the last lap, but it didn't happen. And at the end, I came last. So GG, boys.
yeah. Well, it just goes to show how tight this grid is, because naturally separated by minimal time gaps.
Well, no, it wasn't, because it was tight because of the safety car.
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, towards the end. I mean, there were only a few laps left, wasn't there, after the end of the safety car to really sort of make a difference. But no, I can appreciate that. I mean, you've obviously shown that you've got the pace though on these guys, because your earlier finishes have been nothing short of exquisite. So I'm sure we'll expect to see more from you. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Fehler. Is there any tracks in the current lineup that you can see yourself?
Heavy track.
Any track.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. I'll win it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I mean, I try to win.
Oh, you try to win, but you're positive on every track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, hopefully we'll see another battle between yourself, Speed Barry, Jano, and yet again, and obviously Fehler now joining the fray as well. It's going to be a very, very tight, championship. I think that's for sure, no doubt. Naturally, obviously Jano and Speed Barry leading the way. Obviously, there's a gap between the rest, but that could all change yet, folks. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for all your results today. Great racing, and thank you for giving us something to scream about, guys.
Yeah, see you.
Cheers. Thank you, Jano. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
You're right.
goodbye. Good night.
Thank you, Speed Barry. Thank you. So, guys, everybody, thank you ever so much for joining us here this evening. I think, Maku, we can call that a night, can't we? That was a phenomenal race.
Yeah, that was a really phenomenal race. That should be the season finale. It should be at least that interesting. So, yeah.
It certainly will. Well, do join us next week, ready for yet more racing here at ORL Online League Racing, or Racing League, sorry. And you can see me and Maku back in the comms box, ready for this championship battle to continue with us next week on Thursday. So please join us for that. But from me, George Morgan, and Maku, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See you next week.